Grade 3, Primary Maths, Book 3, page 13. Find 14 on the 100 square and colour it. So you're colouring that square. Now you count on in fours. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 18, and then you keep going in fours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 22, 1, 2, 3, 4, 26. And you keep going until you get to the end. And you colour each of those numbers. So you started by colouring the 14, then you're going to colour 18, then you're going to colour 22, and you keep going until you get to the very end. When you finished, you ask, did you finish on 100? If you did not, then how would you finish on 100? What kind of numbers could you start on? So if you wanted to be on 100, you'd really need to start on 1, 2, 3, 4, a number like 96. And go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 92, and so on. Now, find 92 in the 100 square and colour it in. Count back in fives. Colour all of those numbers in. Did you finish on 0? You want to finish on 0? List all the numbers you could start on. Page 14. Choose a single digit number. Right, that's one of those, from 1 to 9. Count on in threes. Colour each square in your pattern. Describe the pattern below in the grid. So you're counting on in threes. So you start with, for example, 5, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 8, 1, 2, 3, 11, and keep going, colouring each square. Now describe the pattern below in the grid. See what you get and say something about it. Choose any number that has 9 in the tens column. Right, so that's, where are we? These are numbers that have 9 in the tens column. Now count backwards in fours. On the 100 square below, colour each square in your pattern. What does the pattern look like on the grid? Explain that in writing here. Page 16. Choose any number between 1 and 6 and shade the number on the grid below. In other words, colour it. So colour one of these numbers between 1 and 6. Count on in twos from the number. Shade all of these in red. Count on in threes from the number. Shade all of these numbers in blue. Count on in fours from the number. Shade all of these numbers in yellow. Count on in fives from the number. Shade all of these numbers in green. Do that, see what it looks like. Use the 100 square below. Choose any number between 1 and 6. Use your number to make a 2-digit number with 9 in the tens column. So if you chose 4, your starting number is 94. Count back in twos. Shade all the numbers in red. Count back in threes. Shade all the numbers in blue. Count back in fours. Shade all of the numbers in yellow. Count back in fives. Shade all of these numbers in green. And that's the end of that. End of page 17. Right, so here we have a jar full of sweets, candy. And it's, how many sweets do you think there are in the jar? You're not going to try and count them because you can't see all of them. You're going to guess and think, well, I can see at least 20 or 30, so I should think there must be, I don't know, at least 80 or 100 in the jar. So that's what you do. You say, my guess is 80 or 100, and then you explain how you did that. You looked at what you can see, and then you think, well, there must be at least, that's only the front of the jar. So you need to know what's in the back of the jar. So that means that there must be 2 or 3 times as many as that you can see. So you write your answer there. How many sweets do you think there are in 10 jars? Well, if they're all the same as this one, then if we think that there are 150 sweets in this jar, then it's 10 times 150. Right, now we're on page 19. This is in the book, and this is copied from the book. So you started with 8, 8 plus 3 equals 11. 11 minus 4 equals 7. 7 plus 2 equals 9. 9 plus 4 equals 13. 13 minus 5 equals 8. And you've got back to the original answer. Now you are asked to do the same thing on this line and get the same result. So you are going to do counting on or counting back along here from 8, and you finish with 8. Number 2, complete this number track by counting on or counting back in ones, tens or hundreds. Try to make the final answer the same as the starting number. So you're going to do the same thing here, but using ones, tens or hundreds instead of 2s, 3s, 4s and 5s. Now, make up a number track of your own. So you're doing the same thing, you pick a number and then you pick some different counting on and counting backs, and you make your own one of these. Number 4. Question 4. Pick 3 different numbers and make a 3-digit number and write it here. So, complete the sentences. My number has how many in the ones column? My number has how many in the tens column? This is worth how many, how much? My number has how many in the hundreds column? This is worth how much? My number is 1 more than this number. My number is 1 less than this number. My number is 10 more than this. My number is 10 less than that. My number is 100 more than this. My number is 100 less than that. So using the information you already have, please answer those questions. And that's the end of our work in the textbook. Maths Grade 3 workbook, page 10. Write the number sequences. The first one's done for you. So you should write 10 numbers in each sequence. So here you've got counting on in 5s from 22. So that's 22, 25, 32, 37, 42, and so on. Now it says count back in 4s from 48. So you're going backwards. So it's 44, 40, 40, 36, and so on. You can use the number square to help you. Follow the instructions. Count on in 2s, count on in 3s. Do all of this for each one of these. You're doing 10 numbers in each line. Page 11. Make up your own number sequences, following the rules given below. So the first one, the one that's done for you, it says count in 2s, and you must include the number 34. So here you are, you're counting in 2s, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46. You've got 10 numbers following those instructions. You do the same thing for these other numbers. Count in 3s, you must include the number 19. So number 19 must be in the middle of this group of 10 numbers. Then it says at the bottom, the last 2, you can count in any step size you like. So you could you could count in 10s, you can count in 1s, you can count in 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, anything you like, but do the same thing. Create a row of 10 numbers, including a number that you choose. Okay, now it says you need 2 dice. If you haven't got 2 dice, then you just write numbers, choose numbers and write them down. So you're going to roll a 2-digit number. So this person started by throwing a 6 and a 3. Then they've gone plus 5, plus 2, minus 4, minus 3, plus 3, minus 2, minus 5, plus 4. And that means that they've gone along here and they've ended up with the same number. Now I want you to do the same thing with your own numbers. So you pick 2 numbers and write them here, or you roll 2 dice and write the numbers here, and then you fill in the grid. Now, what do you notice about the starting number and the last number? Well, look, they're the same. Why is that? Because by following these directions, that's what happens. If you look here, you've got plus 5, minus 5, plus 2, minus 2, plus 4, plus 4, minus 4. So you're doing opposite things, and that's what brings you back to 63. This girl, Aisha, rolls 4 dice. The biggest number she can make is, so you've got these 4 numbers. What's the biggest number you can make with 4 numbers? Right here. What number does this have in the thousands column? This number has what number in the ones column? The smallest number she can make is this number. This number has what number in the tens column, and this number has what number in the hundreds column. When you finish that question, that's the end of page 12. And that is the end of Grade 3 Maths for this week.